A very good evening, everyone. We welcome you all once again to the City of Joy as two juggernauts collide. 9 matches undefeated both the sides. Mohammedan Sporting Club will be locking horns within Kashi in what can be a potential title decider. Well, not exactly a title decider, but what you can call a prelude to the madness that's all set to unfurl ahead of us if Srinidhi Deccan doesn't go on to win tomorrow. But then that's a far story. That's the dressing room for Mohammedan Sporting Club. Quite a few big names that have instilled hopes in the hearts of the fans. Names that are governed by a big man called Andriy Chernyshov, the Argentine coach who's done a sensational work from the sidelines. That's a team bus arriving to the stadium. And once again, just to give you all a heads up, the epicenter of all the madness today is none other than Naihati Bankimanjali Stadium. Big names await, and they will be raring to take the yard by storm. Before we head into the match, of course, we'll have to listen to what Mr. Chernyshov had to say ahead of it.
One strong team. Last matches they played very well. They win some matches. They played draw some matches. But they try to play nice football. They have, for us, it's not like for another teams. Our opponent team, they will play without pressing, without nothing. For them it's not important. They stay on first 5 position, 6 position, 3rd position, like that. For us it's a little bit more difficult because we are on first position. We want to continue to stay on this position. We want to win this game. We know how to win this game, and our players will do all the best today on the ground.
Well, the visitors for today's game into Kashi, and of course they will also have another crucial encounter. Of course, 9 matches undefeated. Now that comes with a lot of responsibility and certainly with a lot of expectations. Big names in their camp as well, goes without saying, and of course top goal scorers. And this man itself, Carlos Javier Santamarina, of course, he can be another big name on the sidelines. He have been maneuvering, reading the games like none other. A paragon of the sport, if we may say. But then again, let's quickly hear what he had to say ahead of this crucial fixture.
We will play the game like the last games. We have our style, our model. Everybody is very excited to play this game against Mohammedan. They are making a perfect season, and we will try our best to try to win the 3 points and continue in our good moment.
Well, they are the practicing scenes. Of course, both the teams, they will have to give out, they will have to dish out top-class football in order to remain in the hunt. Mohammedan Sporting may be on the cusp of a possibly title-deciding fixture. But then again, this is not going to be an easy one for them. The best part, however, is that they are in their home ground. And of course, they will have the support of their fans. That's the starting 11 for Mohammedan Sporting. Padam Chetri manning the sticks. 4-man defense. Jasim and Adinga on the wings. Joseph Adiye and Mohammad Irshad as the 2 centre-backs. Alexis, Kasimov and Angu in the midfield. And Bikash, Eddie Hernandez. And of course, the likes of David Hamar starting in the forward line. For Kashi though, this is going to be an away fixture for sure, but then make no mistake, they have players in their lineup who knows Kolkata Mohammedan or Kolkata fields like the palm of their hand, and certainly the man whom you saw in the frame, Arindam Bhattacharya, has been playing Indian football for a while, and of course goes without saying when their team comes into the frame. Arindam Bhattacharya will also be a very crucial force. He will be manning the sticks once again, and in the defense they have got the likes of Sumit Pasi, Deepak Devrani, Mandi and Beyong in the midfield. A 3-man midfield, Asif, Yulin and Jordan Lamela, and definitely starting in the forward line, Dos Santos, Mario Barco Villar and Edmund Lalbandika. And to tell you further about this fascinating battle, joining me in the commentary box is Varun.
Well, thank you so much. And there's the standings for you at the top. Mohammedan Sporting Club. It has been a long season, and this is very important. They need to stay at the top, and these games are going to be very crucial. Into Kashi, they're trying to climb up the table. They're in the 30s, but the late 30s. 39 points after 22 games. And Mohammedan Sporting Club have played one game lesser, 21 games, and they're at the top of the table where they want to strengthen their spot, and that too at their home ground. So a very important game because the fans are there in numbers, like you mentioned. It's the home ground, but it's far away from the club. From the city of Joy, Kolkata, you need to travel around 2 hours to reach Nayati, and there they are in numbers to cheer for their home club.
And this can be a very much of a deciding factor. Just to give you all a quick heads up, if Mohammedan Sporting goes on to win this fixture, they will be moving up to 51 points. That will leave Srinidhi Deccan with that option of winning all the matches. So if they do not, so if Mohammedan Sporting wins today and if Srinidhi Deccan even draws one of their remaining fixtures, then that should be the crowning of the Kolkata Giants, and also will be getting them a berth in the upcoming year's Indian Super League. That is going to be a gigantic stride for them towards the right direction. And with the team names announced, with the players announced, of course, eyes will be on the likes of Eddie Hernandez, the leading goal scorer for Mohammedan Sporting. 13 goals for him. Definitely eyes will also be on the young and exciting David Hamar. What a season he's had. First top scored for the Kolkata League for Mohammedan Sporting, and then he continues to be in decent scoring touch in the I-League as well. 5 goals, but most importantly, the kind of plays that he carve out in the centre, that's absolutely a treat for the sore eyes. As the two teams step out, since we talked about Eddie Hernandez and David Hamar for Mohammedan Sporting, do not forget the likes of Mario Barco Villar, a man who can single-handedly change the game. 9 goals so far for him. He's followed by the likes of Jordan Lamela with 5, and definitely Gyama Nikumb and Edmund Naldenrika will be in the list as well. Look at the support. They are a bustling, heaving, swirling mass of cacophony, of home support, of hopes instilled.
Absolutely a difference of around 9 points in the table, 3 spots in the table. Mohammedan Sporting Club, they always have struggled in the recent years. They started off well and then they struggled, went to the halfway path in the points table. But this season has been totally different as they eye to reach to the top tier tournament in the country. They want to play the Indian Super League, and that's the reason Mohammedan Sporting Club started off on a good note and they want to end on a good note too. And it's a perfect setup today for the home team at the Nayati Stadium as they challenge the visitors Inter Kashi, who have not have a dream run. They're in the 4th spot after playing 22 games with 39 points. They slowly want to climb up the table. Very important clash on the road in Kashi. And with me in the commentary box, Rohit Ganguly, a very important game. And Rohit, like you started off, both the teams are continuing with that unbeaten run, and they want to continue with the same, as Jairul Islam is one leading that match official contingent.
Yes, of course, Inter Kashi, they have regained momentum. They had a slightly questionable start. Started off with a 2-all draw, eventually finding that second goal in the 93rd minute of that opening match. Possibly that itself was the cue, was the prelude to the upcoming glory that they were supposed to knit. But in the last 9 matches, Inter Kashi has been unbeaten. They have shown a force. They have shown that they are a force to be reckoned with. And all credits go to the man called none other, Mario Barco Villar. In fact, an absolute sharpshooter up front, and whenever he gets an opportunity, he doesn't fail to tuck it into the back of the net. A predator per se.
Last minute prayers at the Noihati Bonkimanjali Stadium are wearing the captain's armband, like you mentioned, Rohit. He knows the conditions out here, he knows the atmosphere, and he knows the challenge when you have the opponent's home crowd cheering for them in black and whites. So it's going to be a challenge for Carlos Santamarina, but he's ready for it because he knows it's a very important juncture and they have those chances to make it to the top, and these are the games that will count. These are the points that will count if they want to climb up the table steadily and consistently.
Goes without saying, of course, this is their first season, so they will like to take as much heart as they can from this. It doesn't matter whether they finish in the 2nd or in the 3rd, but the kind of performance that they have shown of late, that is absolutely brilliant. Well, just to give you all a quick heads up, starting on your screen from the right to the left, dressed in their flamboyant orange-white away jersey is Kashi, and attacking on your frame in their signature black are the table toppers, Mohammedan Sporting, and off we go here at the Naihati Stadium. A potential decider, a potential opportunity to figure out whether Mohammedan Sporting can pile up the challenge for Srinidhi Deccan tomorrow.
I will be expecting a lot of aggression here in the next 90 minutes because the last 5 games, Mohammedan Sporting have scored 11 goals and 16 by Kashi in the last 5 games. So yes, they want those full points as one team tries to strengthen the top spot and the other wants to climb up. Here's a move, but the last touch was a little heavy, but Kashi mean business, and from the word go, they have been chasing the ball around, and aggression is what you expect in the game today, maybe, Rohit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both the teams, they love to score, in fact. Mohammedan Sporting may have or may have this approach of going on a slightly reserved note in the first 10 minutes possibly, but once they are out of that cage, once the initial jitters are off, Mohammedan Sporting can be one to watch out for. Kashi, I think, despite the fact that this is their first season, they have got quite a few renowned names in Indian football in their lineup, and that is possibly what brings them to the fixture all guns blazing.
That's true. Seasoned campaigners, a lot of experience in the side. The team had potential. It was a clumsy start for them when the campaign started off, but then held on to it, and today here they are at the 4th spot, trying to climb up, and it has been a great job done by the coach and the whole team and the squad too, because experience matters in these kind of tournaments, in the openings, tough challenges like this one today. On the road, Kashi facing Mohammedan Sporting for the table toppers, and they know it's not going to be an easy one, but they have that potential to collect all those points. But the home crowd are here for some other reason. They want to celebrate. They want to celebrate with all those points that are possible for Mohammedan Sporting.
That's a nice run there from Vikas Singh. He's now trying to penetrate from the right, but crucial defensive maneuver there, denying Vikas a shy at glory. And that's the kind of attack, that's the kind of aggression that possibly you were talking about early on.
That's right, that was Julian out there. Just went between the ball and Bikash. Bikash with a wonderful run. Got the fans excited. The stadium. But a good move. Good defensive skills out there from Julian.
And experience is what matters here. Julian knowing that he possibly had to pull off the challenge. And Kashi, they will take their time because they are a team, given the fact that they have quite a few shooters in their echelons. And I think that's an early challenge from Alexis. Alexis had a slightly reticent outing in the last game, was pretty frustrated when he had to leave the field. But again, knowing Alexis, he's someone who knows the back of the net like the palm of his hand, who loves to score and more importantly loves to create. He's like that magician who's central to Mohammedan Sporting's aspirations.
3 minutes into the game, Kashi, another move from the midline this time. Ahead of a clearance, goes back to them. A chance for them right now. The less in numbers, they're trying to build up just outside the area. A lot of touches being played, but finally, Kasimov coming, collecting the ball, building the counter. Mohammedan Sporting looking for the first one. Another through goes straight to Arindam.
Good start from both the sides, even though we have not seen one of those killer touches in the final third. Vikas Singh was possibly trying to make an invasion up there from the right, but then he was intercepted. Now this is the kind of stuff, this is the gentry of football that you'd really like to witness, particularly with two teams who have not known defeat since February.
Now the build-up from the visitors. Now the clumsy pass. Possession being gifted back to Kashi. Got a good chance to build up right now. Jordan wants to keep possession. Releases very quickly. Goes straight to the captain Adinga. He loses it out inside the area. Kashi with a great move and a strike. has been missed. A good chance for the visitors. Could have been the first strike of the game. Missed opportunity out there for Edmund Lalrindika.
Brilliant indeed, brilliant to say the least. Could have been his 5th goal there. Point blank range, somehow he fails to connect. Into Kashi announcing their intentions loud and clear. They may be in the opposition's backyard, but it doesn't matter. They are here with an artillery of their own, with an arsenal of their own, and they are planning to bear it out.
Some tense moments for the home crowd as the decibels went down. Good move, but it all happened because of that error from the captain. I think I'm sure it's just a start and he'll like to settle down quickly. Like you mentioned, the start of the game, Mohammedan Sporting a club would like to settle down, see the opponents, how they are operating, and then they want to strike harder to get all those points. Move from the right, good passing so far, then another miss pass. Both the teams have been struggling to keep possession. In Kashi trying to take advantage of the same. Edmund Lalrindika has been challenged by Joseph. Another challenge from Adinga, and the ball goes straight inside the area to Padam Chetri. Kashi looking a little more lethal than the home team.
Yes, again, that quick outbursts of life there. And they are very well, particularly Carlos Santamarina. He knows the fact if you've got to pressurize Mohammedan Sporting, you've got to hit them early. Because once you start, the one particular thing is, I think this is possibly psychological, Varun, but once you're playing in the home side and you don't get that early goal, and if you concede early on, I think that's all sorts of pressures, all sorts of odds stacked up against you. Mohammedan coming in from the left, wanted to play a grounder there. Unfortunately, it didn't have enough sting in order to challenge the supremacy of Kashi.
Absolutely agree with you, Rohit, because that early strike could have been a very good upper hand for the visitors, and I think it's a lucky escape for Mohammedan Sporting that Edmund couldn't connect out there. And Kashi coach Carlos Santamarina, the expression was all clear. Big miss, and I hope they don't have to pay for it. 7 minutes into the game, another move into Kashi, looking better in the attacking front. These are the departments, the areas where they have to work on. The passes, misfiring and going to the opponents. And same goes for Mohammedan Sporting, losing possession very quickly after a couple of passes. Jordan right now, towards the right. Build up from Kashi, great passing. Another move from the right, grounder, cross comes in, no one meets that. Kashi are looking superb and operational from the right. The crosses are coming in. It's just that the strikers are missing out on the connect. And right now it's a counter. Eddie Hernandez with the run. He's got options on the right. A quick pass, a shot taken, deflection, and still reaches the back of the net. First goal from the home team, Mohammedan Sporting. Zorindam just washed it. The early strike could have been Kashi's, but right now it's 1-0 for Mohammedan Sporting. Wonderful, but a lucky one for Alexis.
Bringing life to the crowd against the turn of the play, if we may say. It was a strike, it was a counter, and this is why you've got to keep your eyes on the ball always. Just a bit of overcommitment there from Kashi, and it allowed Alexis to have a free run. Eddie Hernandez setting him up, and Alexis, he knows where to shoot things from. Arindam Bhattacharya, a mere spectator, rooted to his spot as the ball rolled into the back of the net. Alexis once again showcasing the exemplary flair that he steps up to the field with. One step closer, is it, Varun?
Absolutely. Well, that goal, that score line could have been in favor of Kashi. Before this goal, there was a great opportunity for the visitors. A movement from the right, the cross came in, even Joseph couldn't clear, but then the counter started off. Another move, another one, this time from the right. It's Bikash again. Bikash takes a strike. Not powerful, and this time Arindam taking no chances, but it's still 1-0 Mohammedan lead, and they're looking more lethal right now.
Absolutely, goes without saying, and I think the beauty, the brilliance of that goal from Alexis Gomez was that he was taking a shot from quite some range, and he didn't try and unload a thunderbolt. All he did was just place it. He knew that once the placement was right, with the fact that Arindam Bhattacharya was off the line, he couldn't keep it under control. And as a result, look at how the crowds, they have already started loving it at the moment, and it is expected that they are just going to get louder than ever. What a start. And in fact, you were talking about how Kashi had a couple of chances, couple of very close chances. They should have buried it 6 feet under. Unfortunately, as you would have it, it's Mohammedan Sporting who has their noses ahead in this crucial encounter.
That's true. Because the way Mohammedan Sporting look right now could have been the picture for Kashi. They missed out on those double opportunities, good chances. That's the reason they have conceded. They're struggling right now to get that same momentum that they had when the game started off. And talking about that goal, that shot, absolutely right. Just a placement, not much of power. There was not much of deflection too, and I think Arindam could have done a better job. Then it's conceded already, but it's just a slender lead for Mohammedan. And there's a lot of time left in the game, but yes, the toppers want to stay at the top and strengthen the spot.
Another important fact, if we may say, is Kashi, I think their defense has been pretty leaky. That's the 40th goal that they have conceded. And that's the most number of goals in the top 4 that any one of the top 4 teams have conceded. Mohammedan Sporting, they may not be keen on just piling up the numbers there, but what they have is solidity in their defense and in their attack. And kind of similar, that's another lovely delivery. Eddie Hernandez was just trying to navigate through the treacherous cross currents of the 3 defenders circling around him. It's not easy, actually, the numerical superiority lying with Kashi. But here comes Kashi once again. A nice little flick in front. A long chase. Doesn't really look like. Oh, in fact, he made his way through, latched onto the ball. Kind of a defensive lapse there. Opportunity created at the far post. Denied by Padam Chetri. Danger's not over. And point blank range. Entire goalkeeping. And it goes wide. All sorts of drama. Jordan Lamela possibly should have been the scorer, but misses out once again.
Good move from the visitors, from the right then to the left, and then another setup. Brilliant one from Asif to start off with, and then that pass at the end, the header set up, and then he gave it for Jordan Lamela. Jordan Lamela, he knows it. A big mistake out there. Could have been better, could have been the equalizer, and Kashi could have come back in the game with this touch.
Possibly it's too early to predict, Varun, but truth be told, I reckon this game has all the telltale signs of a swashbuckler in the making. What a clash we are already witnessing here. Kashi is not willing to give up. They're coming close, and believe me, the writing's on the wall already. They have made their intentions clear. The clarion call for scoring that equalizer is banging louder than ever. But will they be able to breach the solid defense of Mohammedan Sporting? Only 17 goals conceded throughout the span of the tournament. Just tells you how good they are.
Right, and talking about that fact that you were mentioning after that action took place. So yes, 40 goals conceded by Kashi, and that too with a defense line which has Arindam as the last line of defense. So much of experience out there with Sumit, Sandeep and Deepak, but still you conceding so many goals clearly states the fact that the coordination is missing, and they have to work in that department, because if you're conceding so much, that's the reason they're losing out on points and could have been in a better place than that 4th spot in the table.
What I'm also surprised about is in a big match like this, where you're playing against the table toppers, they have kept Peter Hartley out of the starting 11. I think Peter Hartley is the heart and soul of that defense. And more importantly, he goes up on those overlaps, can also score as well if his team needs him to. Yeah, that's a throw in there. Jassim is going to be the one responsible, but I think Jassim's introduction into the side, Samad Ali Malik had a bit of injury, and then Jassim was introduced into the mix, and since then Jassim has been a mainstay. He's shown why he can be one of the most reliable names in the Mohammedan Sporting echelons.
That's true. Mohammedan Sporting right now trying to double up the lead. David from the left trying to penetrate. He does. He's inside the area, loses out on possession. Norindam taking no chances and clears it away. And I think the coach Carlos Santamarina has sacrificed on Peter Hartley to have more aggressive formation by having 3 foreigners up front. Mario Bacco, Dos Santos, Edmund Lalrindinga, Jordan Lamela, sorry. They all want to add to the striking force. And that's the reason I think Peter Hartley might be coming a little later when the team has the lead. But it looks like Kashi missing out on those chances is the reason they might have to lose out on those points in this game. Possession-wise, it's Kashi leading just a bit.
Well, to be honest, if Kashi doesn't go on to log any points, there's not much that they are going to lose out. But if Mohammedan Sporting fails to log a point from this fixture, because yes, they may have a slender cushion, all right, but as we know football, as Bill Shankly once said, football is far more than life and death, and it can change at any point in time, particularly with teams like Kashi vying for this encounter. Eddie Hernandez from the left. We have known lots of twists and turns to happen. Once again, it is Alexis trying to control the ball. Once he gets hold of it, he can be a menacing contender to be put down. Now coming in from the left, looking around for a bit of space, David Hamar. It's very hard to resist from watching David Hamar playing. Such an incredible young lad.
That's right. A lot of creativity and has been the reason for so many points for Mohammedan this season. It includes all the tournaments they have played. And this team has played like a unit. The core of the team has stayed together. That's the reason they have this consistency, staying at the top. And the champions looking forward to it. Build up from the left, a grounder pass. Eddie Hernandez was the target, but a very important touch out there from Deepak. Interception.
Deepak Devrani, another experienced name in Indian football, just showing that why he is one of the big names as well. But it looks like at the moment, Kashi, despite their attacking salvo, despite their attacking prowess, whenever Mohammedan Sporting has come knocking on the doors, they have found themselves at the receiving end of some serious entropy. Here comes in the corner, opportunity, Joseph Adiye at the far post. Could have been trouble, but Arindam Bhattacharya says, hold on, I am still here.
Well, a good setup from the corner in the far post. Arindam, well, he had it in his reach, but Joseph still trying to create some trouble out there. The captain knows it has been a clumsy start for him. Carlos Santamarina, he knows the scoreline could have been the other way around. The team has missed out on chances. Now they're not building up anymore. Rio Barco, not a great pass. Clearance. The second ball goes back to Kashi. From the right, for Kashi, I think Asif has been brilliant with those runs and that pace.
Absolutely, Asif. Asif has been one of those underrated, undersung players. But then, with that being said, Asif also has found himself with 5 goals next to his name. It just tells you how he tiptoes himself into the opposition mix, and even before they know, he very insidiously, very subtly just pulls the trigger. And the next thing you know is that the ball's buried in the back of the net.
That's right, and the initial 2 moves which created chances for Kashi was all created because of those runs from Asif. Those were the chances you need to strike in games like these when you're facing the table toppers. Sumit Pasi, another player with a lot of experience, handling the defense out there with Deepak and Sandeep. For Kashi, have been struggling. On papers, it says 4-3-3 for Kashi. A mistake out there. Kashi have a chance in the area. Shot taken. What a comeback! A very important block. Mario Bacco could have made it 1-1. Great defending after that error. Super job from Irshad.
Sensational stuff. Absolutely sensational. That was once again almost point blank range. Padam Chetri could have been under some serious fire. But then Mohammad Irshad throwing himself along the line as if his life depended upon it. And guess what? It's going to be a corner. Dos Santos possibly wanted to take that one, but Jordan Lamela says, I've got that menacing in-swinger, which we'll try our luck with. Here comes the corner, but straight into the safe hands of Padam Chetri. He'll take his time and he'll roll it forward. This can be a counter for Mohammedan Sporting. Let's see.
Alex's quick pass to the left. Well, the transition has been quick for Kashi. Form the defensive formation. Ball comes in, header clearance. Not much of a threat out there from the counter from Mohammedan Sporting. Well, it says 4-3-3 on papers for Kashi, but when they're facing the attacks, they're becoming 5-4-1 kind of a formation. And Kashi don't want to concede any more goals, but up front, those chances that they're missing out on will become crucial if the scoreline remains the same.
Absolutely. I think every single chance you waste is an additional bout of pressure that you take upon your shoulders, particularly in a high-octane encounter like this. That's another glimpse at how dangerous David Hamar can be. He can just trick his way, he can coax his ways into the opposition defensive third, and even before you're aware of his presence, he will come forward, chipping away at the goals. That's another lovely delivery onto the far right now. Trying to latch onto it is Bikash Singh. Bikash hoping for support, and eventually here comes the support, but not really the best of crosses, to be honest. One along the carpet and one intercepted.
Kashi looking to equalize. Switching the attack from the left to the right. Staying near the circle. Back to the left. Payong looking for options up front. Shulen. Deepak. Not a good trapping out there from Asif, but he wins it back. That's very important for a team who's conceded already, trailing right now. These passes, these clumsy passes, have been there for Carlos Santamarina and company since the game started.
And I think that has been one of the reasons why, despite looking so good in terms of their attacking quotient, the final finishing touch that needs execution, that needs control, is still to come. There were 3 chances for them, which were very close, and yet all 3 of them were squandered away. Eddie Hernandez trying to use that burly stature of his. Now from the right, it's Bikash Singh. Lays it up for Eddie Hernandez. Eddie lets it go. This can be a chance for Eddie. Kind of a tussle there. And I reckon there was a bit of foul play involved. Referee laying down the law in that occasion.
Alex is looking for Eddie Hernandez inside the area. Like always, Hewlin doing a great job defending, and Eddie Hernandez with that foul. 4 fouls in the game so far, 3 committed by Mohammedan Sporting. The fans are all excited, but they're waiting for more goals. And Kashi looking lethal, but in phases. Tough challenge from Bayong, and it's a foul. Cool down, says the referee.
Yes, it's just 23 minutes on the game, so nothing to lose temper straight away. Of course, that was a sweeping tackle, if we may say. Almost swept him off his feet there from the back. And once again, we are up and running. Kasimov on the ball will take his time. Kasimov has this knack of playing those long balls, one like that. This time, though, it was slightly overpowered. Not the best ones for Bikash to try and capitalize on that. Landry Chernyshov, the best part about him is he isn't just a master game reader. He isn't just one of those brilliant tacticians, but the way he involves himself in the game, the way he always keeps up with those youngsters in his side, I think that is absolutely phenomenal to watch.
That's true. He has been with the team for long. There was a break, he came back, and that comeback, that bounce back was even stronger. And that's the reason the coach stayed around, the unit has worked together, and you're getting the results. The team at the top, they're looking forward to finishing it out there.
Since we talked about Chernyshov, I think one more name that should be mentioned is his team manager, a man who has himself been a part of Indian football for an eternity altogether, Dipendra Biswas. And I think that is one of the reasons why Mohammedan Sporting has unearthed such local talents, such Indian talents who have been showing their class. And it's not just that they are a one-man army. It's not that they are entirely reliable on the foreign resources that they have. The likes of David Hamad, the likes of Bika Singh, the likes of Mohammad Irshad as well. I think the way they have all combined to dovetail Mohammedan Sporting into an unstoppable force, that is absolutely sensational.
Absolutely right. And right now it seems like Dos Santos is on the field, lying on the field injured. Joseph out there trying to clear it away. Not intentional. That strike hit Dos Santos' ankle and is getting some medical attention. Like you were mentioning about Dipendra Biswas, yes, a very important critical role he has played. Not only scouting talents, but also suggesting the coach for team's formation and how to utilize Indian talent, because Andrew Chernyshov has to know all those players from the country. And the same goes for all the teams, be it a manager or the assistant coaches. If you have someone like Dipendra Biswas, a very important guy who knows the Indian football circuit very well, the talents, the young ones, then the team can get you good results. And this was that strike, the only strike of the game so far. Alex's, not a powerful one, but a good placement. And Arindam had to concede the first one of the game early on in the first quarter.
Tells you volumes, that strike itself tells you volumes about footballing acumen of Alexis. Knows when to power one, knows when to unload a thunderbolt, and knows when to place one as well. And I think it's the blend, it's a mix of all these things coming together which makes out a true great of an athlete like Alexis. And then again, like he's such a player who may be silent throughout the game, but then one chance only, and he will score from that. That is how good he is. A prolific goal scorer, someone who always has his eyes on the ball, and most importantly, a man who has mastered the art of positioning in football very, very eminently.
And from the land of Messi. Irshad gets that opening, gives the pass. Kasimov to the left. Dinga sends the long one, a perfect delivery, the flag stays down. It's Bikash from the right now. Alexis, the angle's tough. He goes inside the area, sets it up. A header, Eddie Hernandez off the target. Still a chance, a tough angle, a claim for an offside. And I think the flag has gone up. Or maybe the ball was clearly out of the field of play. But a good chance, a good setup. The lead could have doubled up.
What a delivery there. A peach rather. I would say Eddie Hernandez should have actually gone for it. He was trying to tee off Alexis in all likelihood. But I think Alexis was slightly acute on that occasion, and Eddie couldn't really get that header in place. But you've got to give the credits to Bika Singh. He was operating from the right initially, and now he's shuffled ranks there. Once again, the versatility, that versatility is the key towards Mohammedan Sporting's Indian brilliance.
That's right. I think a while back when Dos Santos was injured, maybe the coach gave out those instructions he conveyed to David and Bikash to switch flanks, and that's the reason David is operating from the right now. Bikash has gone to the left. Irshad with the challenge. The referee says it's a clear foul.
Mohammad Irshad again. An absolute stalwart of a defender in Indian football. He's played for quite a few renowned clubs. Knows every blade of grass out in this venue. But one good thing about him is he's so hardy, he doesn't really allow the opposition to have that free-flowing brand of football. And it looks like it's so hot at the moment. A bit of water break there just to ensure that the players remain hydrated and they can go forward, all blasters blazing rather, towards the end of the game.
Fans having a great time because of that early strike. Andrew Chernyshov will have some points of concern to be discussed with the team, because Kashi just conceded one, but they got 2 or maybe 3 chances. Couldn't score though. But it has been celebrations since the first quarter at the Naihati Stadium out here. Mario Bako could have made it 1-1. Rishad with that all-important block in front of him. Then 2 crosses coming in for Kashi from the right. It didn't upset these fans out here, because it's been Alexis. He's got his name on the score sheet, and that's the reason you see all these smiling faces at the home ground.
One thing you mentioned at the start of the game, Varun, that this game is played away from Kolkata, at least a couple of hours away. Imagine the same game happening at the Salt Lake Stadium possibly. How do you feel the stands were going to be?
True, you could hear the roar out here in the commentary box too then. Or maybe at the Mohammedan ground.
Another long ball, but straight into the hands of Padam Chetri. Another experienced name under the sticks. Have pulled off a few crucial saves during the course of the tournament. It was a well-placed shot, to be honest, but then if you're trying to test Padam Chetri with a range like that, I think you need a bit more precision, a bit more power. And this is going to be a throw-in in favor of Mohammedan Sporting there. Dos Santos getting slightly frustrated right now, possibly throwing those elbows a bit more frequently. Got to be careful, because the referees will have their eyes. And yes, we are talking about Indian talent. How can we miss out Zoding Liana? He stepped up when Samad Ali Malik had that injury. Samad Ali Malik was initially the captain of the side, and then Zoding Liana was handed over the armband. And what a season he's had since then.
That's right. And Samad is in the bench today. But the captain has been brilliant. That's the reason the team has kept so many clean sheets. David trying to penetrate, trying to gain back possession. He does it. It's Angusana now. Kasimov switches the attack to the left. Pikash clinging on to the possession. Mohammedan Sporting playing as per the instructions of the coach, maybe. Settle down, play those passes, keep possession, then try to find out that opening and penetrate. David versus Payong. Sliding challenge on the ball, says the referee. A counter from Kashi.
However, a poor giveaway, to be honest. They were hoping for that long ball. They are trying to now resort to a Route 1 brand of football, which can be slightly risky. Look at how David very comfortably nutmegs Del Pino without breaking a sweat at the moment. I think that is the beauty of David Amar. Now from the right there. Can he get past his marker? That's a ball forward. Alexis tries to cut back in, wanted to go for that minus, but will have to wait. He has got Jordan Lamela on his back, and eventually the cross that came floating in. The advantage was kind of nullified, and now here's a chance for Kashi to try and break. Mohammad Irshad once again standing like an unbreachable wall in front of the Kashi attacking unit.
Lalwin Dika with it run. Ball had went out of the field of play. Throw in restart. Another move from the right. The home team. David versus Beong once more. David this time comes inside the area, and that clumsy left footer touch is the reason that the ball is gone for a goal kick.
The crowds are applauding this infringement already, but I think till here everything was fine. This is where it went slightly downhill for David, and I think he's always got to take heart from that. He's made a brilliant run, and I think again we were talking about the versatility of these Indian talents. David as well, the way he switched flanks, the way he's played central at times, that's just brilliant. But at the moment though, it's the visitors who has a chance to try and break. But Mohammedan Sporting, Kasimov, it looks like it can be a card offense. Almost went, yes, the card has come out there. It is Beong who has been taken into the referee's book there for that clattering tackle on Kasimov.
He kind of invited it. This is his second foul. The earlier one was also a little more on the reckless side, and this time the ball was out of his reach. The sliding one directly striking Kasimov. That's the reason in the third quarter of the game he sees yellow and he has to be careful for the rest of the game now.
Almost kind of a body slam in the argot of wrestling, to be honest. But then again, it's good to see that Kasimov is all right, and I think Byong, he will have to be slightly careful here. He's gone for a few tackles like that, and considering how Mohammedan Sporting has been pretty predatory, to be honest, you just can't afford too many fouls like that. And definitely when you're playing in the opposition's den, you just can't be numerically depleted at all costs, because that is just going to make life a lot easier for Mohammedan Sporting. Joseph Adiye plays it all the way to the left. One touch at a time. No real rush. Ansuana back to Joseph. Joseph taking his time. Kasimov. And a very soft and a tender pass there to Mohammad Irshad. Irshad sends it further forward. It was Mohammad Jassim who's almost latched onto that delivery, but was slightly overpowered there. It's going to be a throw-in in favor of Kashi.
Well, it's good to see Jassim joining the attack. In the first two quarters, it was more of a defensive job for him. But then, cross a couple of minutes back, and right now this run, it's clear on Sporting trying to be a little more aggressive by using Jassim. The flag was up. Offside. But David
Amar just hoping for one of those long balls that he can just latch onto and showcase that skill of his. But I think that was clearly an offside. No questions asked. And David himself didn't go for much of a protest either. Let's see, can Kashi finally... Well, the last few minutes, let's say the last 8 to 10 minutes, I think Mohammedan Sporting has managed to slow the tempo down. It could have been trouble in paradise for Mohammedan Sporting. And Padam Chetri just stepping up in the nick of time to deny Kashi what could have been that equalizer. And it looks like another free kick, another challenge. This is turning out into pretty much of a very physical encounter.
Just right. Sumit Pasi is trying to say that the ball was out of his reach, but it was a clear tackle, a clear contact on Bikash from Sumit Pasi. So that's the reason the foul was given. A good decision from the referee out there. And Kashi have to hold on to their nerves. They have to know that it's just a goal that they're trailing and things can get better. It's just that the chances have to be built up like they were doing in the first quarter. And they have to strike when they get those opportunities.
I reckon Carlos Javier Santa Marina has been given a booking there. Now, it's understandable that his team is trailing. And yes, he's not happy with a few decisions. But I think being the boss of the side, you've got to keep your calm. Because here on, as I previously pointed out, if Carlos Santa Marina gets a red, then possibly his team will not be losing out on any one of those infield players, but they will be losing out a general who can get the plotting done for them.
That's true, and well said, Rohit, because in most of the games, all those fights, those arguments, they all start from the technical area. From the left, Bikash, a little heavy touch. This is going to be a goal kick. And Rishanishov, he knows he's leading. But those cards, back-to-back cards, conceded by Beong, and then the coach right now will give more reasons for the home crowd to celebrate and will frustrate Kashi all the more.
Absolutely, it is going to be frustrations once again. These small maneuvers there, the small steps taken. I reckon there's another free kick which has been awarded, is it? No. In fact, it's going to be game on. I think these small steps there, Beong first, and then it was their coach, Carlos Santa Marina, who was given the booking. I think, once again, it's a psychological aspect of the game that comes to the fore, because then you have to be ultra cautious, possibly for Beong, now that he will try and pull off a challenge if needed. He will have to think twice whether that is within the gamut of avoiding or possibly eluding that second card. Another push there. Look how Andrei Chernisov, very cool, very calm under the circumstances. Sumit Pasi, bit of a tussle with the final touch there coming from Vikas Singh.
But I think Bikash was in an offside position out there. This is why the restart in favor of Kashi. 39 minutes up. And it has been a long time that Kashi have created a good chance for the team. Good start for them initially. Missed out on those strikes, those crosses that came in from the right. And then it has been Mohammedan who have been dominating the game, creating chances, keeping possession. But Kashi, they have the time, they have the potential to come back. It's very important to keep their cool.
Absolutely, it's very important to keep their cool. That's the magic word right now. Because in football, all it takes to score a goal is possibly 20-30 seconds. It can even come from a freak delivery and possibly an easy giveaway, something like that, but that was more under control. But you've got to be very, very focused. You've got to be very, very alert. You've got to keep an eye open for the opportunities. A possible long ranger there. Padam Chetri denies. Was in decent position to try and parry that away. And he does that with a smile on his face. David Amar now on the ball. And plays it back to Alexis. Alexis to Irshad. Irshad taking his time. 1 against 3. And Irshad still comes out on top. However, it's a mispass. Another chance for Kashi. Can they go forward? Can they elude the clutches of Joseph Adiye? Looks like not so.
Jordan Lamela with the strike from a distance. Kept it on target, but straight to Padam Chetri. Could have tested him by hitting it to the left, to the right, a few meters. Chance for Mohammedan now. Eddie Hernandez. Alexis, Eddie. There's no options. Takes the shot. It's been blocked outside the area. Kashi trying their best to get the equalizer, but the passes have not been great. 2 shots from Eddie Hernandez. The second one from outside the area couldn't reach the target.
Well, of course, the leading goal scorer for Mohammedan Sporting, that tag itself comes out with a lot of expectations. 13 goals so far for him. Had a brace as well recently against Naroka FC, and someone whom the team looks up to. And they also have a few big names in the bench as well. Now here's a chance. Alexis once again plays it onto the far right there. David Hamar with the cross. Opportunity, however. Intervention there from Kashi, allowing them to clear their danger lines momentarily.
A good move, a good cross. Good defending header. But another move out here right now from Mohammedan. This time from the left, that pass. Bit of a heavy touch out there. Both the flanks operating for Mohammedan Sporting, especially from the right, they're looking great. But Kashi, they're coming in attack in phases. It has been long. They've created a good chance, apart from the shot that was stopped by Padam Chetri. And the form he has had in this tournament is going to take a lot more to beat him.
Absolutely. 8 clean sheets is what he's got. I think Padam Chetri would have actually wanted to catch that one, because ideally for a goalkeeper, when you're going down, it's a lot easier. But then at times you also have to possibly adapt to the situation when you realize maybe it's not within your grasp. And I think that's what Padam Chetri did. But then again, with that being said, 8 clean sheets is no easy work either. And now Kashi comes in from the right. Sumit Pasi with the delivery into the mix. Does well to try and break free, however, has been denied. David Hamar. David Hamar to Kasimov. Kasimov looking for a bit of space. Back to David. David plays it onto the far right. Mohammad Irshad. Is he going to play it much more central there? Eddie Hernandez awaits, trying to dribble his way past a couple of step overs. Well, looks like Irshad still has the possession at his feet. But eventually it is Mohammad Asif with that crucial defensive block.
Irshad seems to be tired. He was looking for options. Eddie Hernandez asked him to slow down a bit, but then he found that opening. Nasif kept on chasing, and then finally that sliding challenge on Irshad has got a throw in for his team, and that to near the opponent's corner flag. And that's very important in times like these. It's 44 minutes up. A couple of more minutes, maybe more than that, including the added time. And I think this lead is very important for Mohammedan Sporting when they go for that half-time break. And Kashi have the time to equalize, but they are not looking great in the attacking front. for the last 2 quarters or so. A chance for Mohammedan Sporting now. On the turn, a setup comes in, but a good clearance, but not a good counter from there.
Mohammedan Sporting now possibly trying to slow the tempo down. As you said, that we are almost in the dying embers of the first half. So of course they will not like to concede for sure. Well, it isn't just the playing 11 that Mohammedan Sporting can be proud about. Even they have bigger names on the bench, the likes of Evgeny Kozlov, the Russian midfielder. A sensational talent, to be honest. And most important, David Amar, look at how he tries to navigate the melee of Kashi boots there. Has been denied 4 minutes of added time. There have been quite a few stoppages, but 4 minutes, that's not just added time, that's a statement altogether.
We had that drinks break, 2 cards, a couple of injuries, and that's the reason maybe 4 minutes of added time and a good chance. Good face for Kashi to come back, but it's been Mohammedan Sporting with the possession. The game started, they were trailing in terms of possession too, but right now they're close to 60. Well, Kashi in their 40s now, which was in the 50s in the first quarter. From the left, Bikash taking his time, and he knows the team wants to keep the lead.
That's going to be a throw-in in favor of the hosts itself. Kasimov taking his time. And look at, I think the instructions are pretty clear. You don't need to rush. The game's under control so far. We have the lead as well. Let's head into the tunnel with the lead itself. And let's talk further about how we can compound the miseries of the visitors. Kasimov onto the far right. Does well there, David Hamar. Latches on to the delivery. Now trying to break free from the right. Back to Kasimov once again. Kasimov scaling his options there. All the way back to Arshad. Kasimov again. Sends it forward. David. David does well to keep control of possession. Kasimov back to David. Jassim. David. Now Jassim coming in from the right. Sends it further forward. Lovely break there. Crucial defense once again. It was a run from Angusana, but a strong denial from Sandeep Mandi.
Very important sliding clearance out there from Sandeep. Just outside the area, he knew, had it been a clear contact, will never be a penalty. And he went for it and was not beaten. So we're in the added time. As Mohammedan Sporting lead right now. Slender lead for them. But they have dominated. And Kashi looked good in phases. But couldn't strike. From those couple of chances, or maybe more than that they had. From the right, another cross. Another one that passes by and no one meets it. I think that's Edmund asking for a penalty.
Didn't really look like a very substantial touch there, and I reckon he must have entangled his own boots there before he went down on the ground. I think Edmund possibly could have pushed slightly harder, may have been within the touching range of that shot. Once again, possibly Kashi just trying to reinstill the hopes that they started the game on with, the kind of football that they were playing up front. I think that was just spectacular. Even after that first goal as well, they came close enough. Mario Barco Villar almost had a free shot, but then was denied with Mohammad Arshad putting off a crucial block there. It looks like the ball went out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Kashi.
Kasimov trying to keep it in play. It had already gone out, so throw in for Kashi. This might be the last action of the first half. Beong getting ready for a perfect throw-in and a setup. Inside the area, a flicked header. Trap on the chest, a setup from distance. Shot not taken as of now. Cry for a foul. No, says the referee. The play goes on. A long ball to the left. Edmund Lalrindika. Edmund versus Jassim. Jassim beaten. Edmund trying to penetrate, wins the foul. It's a set piece. And this will be the last action of the first half now.
So much drama, so much excitement and thrills all together. Yes, that was a clear push from Kasimov, goes without saying that is a free kick. And I think that last move there, where they had that shooting chance, that second touch was a bit too much. I think that shot should have come on the second touch itself. They were trying to create more space. Finally, it looks like Dos Santos can be the one responsible for trying to whip that in. We have got Dos Santos, we have got Edmund Lalenrica. Edmund possibly will be going for that left footer of his, that outswinger. And look at that wall, Eddie Hernandez, tall and towering. And then two Indian superstars manning that, David Amar, of course. Here comes the free kick. Padam Chetri pumps that away to safety. Danger's not over, however, as the possession lingers on. That's a header, kind of bloated. And eventually, that should be the end of first half action. An enthralling 45 minutes of football from both the sides. Initially started on a fiery note from the visitors into Kashi, but then Mohammedan Sporting held over the reins, and it was through Alexei's strike that they have managed to keep that lead intact.
Just right, a perfect placement in the first quarter from Alexis is the reason that Mohammedan Sporting are leading right now. But then Inter Kashi had their chances. Mario Bacco, those crosses came in from the right for Dos Santos, Jordan Lamela, but they all saw it passing by. No connect, and that's the reason no strikes for Inter Kashi. And that's the reason that the fans are celebrating at Noihati Bongimanjali Stadium. As the halftime ends, the home team is leading and looking strong at the top. These are the stats at the end of the first half. Ball possession, home team 56%. They've taken 4 shots, kept 1 on target. 5 shots from Inter Kashi with 2 on target. Yellow cards, 1 for Beong and the other one for the coach for Inter Kashi, for Carlos Santamarina. 1 offside for Mohammedan Sporting. And 10 fouls. Mohammedan Sporting committing 6 of them.
4 shots from Mohammedan Sporting, Eddie Hernandez with a couple of them. Alexis with that all-important goal out from outside the box. And Vikas Singh wanted to have a shy at glory as well, but was denied.
And
5 of them from Inter Kashi. Edmund Lalenrica with a hat-trick of shots. Didn't find the back of the net. Jordan Lamela came close. Mario Barco Villar came close. But eventually at the end of the day, they are still to find the back of the net.
6 fouls from Mohammedan Sporting. Kasimov committing 2. Alexis Hernandez, Jay and Irshad 1 apiece. And they all committing most of the fouls in the opponent's half. Just 2 of them in their own half. That proves how aggressive they were as the game went on.
4 fouls for Inter Kashi, Beong and Beong with a couple of them, Mandi and Sumit Pasi with 1 foul each. It has been a half where there was no dearth of actions. Both the teams coming close, both the teams trying to find the back of the net. Inter Kashi came extremely close in those initial minutes. 2 of the chances went begging. This was the first one of them. This was possibly the second despite all the tackles. Padam Chetri had to pull off a few crucial saves as well. And that was the brilliant finish. Sheer placement, sheer brilliance of Alexis. Once again showing why he is one of the best in business in Indian footballing circuit.
Inter Kashi could have made it 1-1 in the first half itself. This was a chance missed by Inter Kashi. And then the shot from Mario Bacco stopped brilliantly by Irshad. And Beong conceding a yellow for this challenge. And then the coach also had to see the yellow card. From a distance, a good try from Jordan Lamela. Went straight to Padam Chetri. Another cross from the right and it went past. And then Edmund trying to penetrate those dying minutes of the first half. A set piece. Padam Chetri punched it away for clearance, and that's how the first half ended.
The final scoreline of the first half is Mohammedan Sporting 1, and that came from the feet of Alexis and Inter Kashi 0. We'll quickly dive into a short breather and return with the second half.
The first set of substitutions happening at the Noihati Bongimanjali Stadium. 2 substitutions for Inter Kashi. And just 1 for Mohammedan Sporting Club. Princeton Barreto, sidelines getting ready for the only change for Andrew Chernyshov so far. And Peter Hartley coming in for Inter Kashi to make the defense line more stronger. Padam Chetri having a quick discussion. The last minute prayer, the last time for this game, as they want to keep a clean sheet and get all those points. And Inter Kashi, 2 changes. Peter Hartley coming in and also Kyaman Nikum trying to add a little bit more of edge to that attacking front. Sumit Pasi, Dos Santos going off. This is Kaushik Varun welcoming you all to start of the second half. With me in the commentary box is Rohit Ganguly. Very important game. Inter Kashi had their chances, but as the time goes on, they're fading by roses from the audience. The fans are all happy. Mohammedan Sporting are leading right now. Slender lead for them. Congratulations coming in already.
I think that's the beauty of football in Bengal, isn't it, Varun? You've seen this time and time again. And I think these couple of changes made by both the sides that can be a game-changing one, if I may say, because Benestin Barreto, he's someone who really loves to play that left wing, and those venomous crosses that he comes forth with, that's just a treat for the eyes. And we are underway here, attacking on your frame from the right to the left. In their menacing black is Mohammedan Sporting, and attacking on your frame from the left to the right, dressed in their signature, in their flamboyant orange, is Inter Kashi. The introduction of Gyama Nikum in place of K. Byong, this can be a very good move. And Dos Santos, he wasn't really in the best of shapes either. And it is finally the seasoned Peter Hartley taking hold of that centre-back pair. And straight away Mohammedan Sporting trying to find out an opening there, all the way from the left. And here comes another lovely ball forward. Alexi is trying to latch on to that. However, it was slightly more overpowered and eventually goes out for a throw.
This first quarter of the second half is going to be very important for the visitors to bounce back in the game. Just a goal can be equalized, but Mohammedan Sporting from the left. Bikash looking for options, sets it up, a shot taken! Misses the target. Benestin Barreto could have doubled up the lead. Good chance for Mohammedan Sporting.
Man with the golden feet. The moment he comes into the frame, he does something or the other that starts leaving their opposition on tenterhooks. Brilliant strike, goes without saying. Almost picture perfect had it found the back of the net. Inches is what took the ball away. But nonetheless, once again, this talks voraciously about intentions from the hosts.
We'll also give credit to Bikash for the wonderful pass, for the wonderful setup. Benestin Barreto, it's always tough connecting those kind of shots on the turn and keeping it on target. He tried his best, missed our benches. From the left into Kashi right now. In the area, set up a header. Goes off the target. Now, Asif had the chance to equalize. Both the teams having a go as the second half kicks off.
Matching each other ounce for ounce, pound for pound there. Trading off hefty haymakers straight away. And it goes without a saying, it goes inevitably that both the teams are going to fight each other until the very end. That's a lovely run from the left. Acres of space ahead. Brilliant cutback. Possible minus setting up. Eddie Hernandez, somehow he misses from point blank range. You won't find a better opportunity than that. What a sensational delivery from Mangusara. And Eddie Hernandez just doesn't connect where it should have been.
He had the space, he had the time. The target was in front of him. Could have been an easy finish for Eddie Hernandez. Oh, how could he miss that? Benestin Barreto came and tried to cheer him up, but Eddie Hernandez, he knows it very well. Could have made it 2-0 for Mohammedan Sporting.
And I think Mohammedan Sporting, they will be going forward with more intensity, with more renewed vim and vigor. Because Inter Kashi, every single time they have introduced Gyamar Nikom into the mix in the second half, they are a side that has orchestrated attacks like never before. So you've got to watch out for the visitors, and they have a very good attacking unit. And with the introduction of Peter Hartley into the heart of their defense, there will be a lot more menacing, and the defensive solidity straight away. There you go, Peter Hartley versus Eddie Hernandez.
I think Carlos Santamarina has given the job to the boxer Peter Hartley to mark Eddie Hernandez pretty well. Not let him turn around and face the goal. But he had his chance to get his name on the score sheet. Missed it out. And Andriy Chernyshov must be thinking, could have been 2-0, 3-0, but it's still 1-0. And into Kashi, they had the chances when the first half started. In the second half, they're still struggling. Not menacing enough to come back in the game.
One particular name on the bench of Inter Kashi that I particularly would be intrigued to see in the mix, a former I-League winner, Fran Gomez. He was a part of that I-League winning campaign for Mohammedan in 2019. Now he's there on the bench. Del Pino hasn't exactly been that creative enough. He's done well in the defense, however. Whether Carlos Santamarina goes for that substitution, brings in, shows a bit more audacity, that is going to be the talk of the town. And even if we see Fran Gomez, when are we going to see him? All of these questions out on the horizon, all of the calculations, the permutations, the combinations, reigning supreme in the two dugouts. And what we are witnessing is stuff from the folklore.
That's right. And talking about Fran Gomez, like you mentioned, played for Mohammedan. It's like known conditions for him out here. He's experienced campaigner. Can be a weapon, can be a plan B for the coach. But right now, Mohammedan Sporting trying to make it 2-0. Options on the right. The shot taken, a grounder. A powerless one, and goes off the target. Good chance for Angusana. He had options to give a pass.
Angusana was just trying to replicate Alexei's there. He saw that Arindam was there in the first post, so possibly attempting that shot at the far post. Good strategic maneuver, I would say, but then again, someone like Alexei's, his placement is so impeccable, to be honest.
Into Kashi. Jordan Lamela sends it back to the defense line. Sandeep. Under pressure, Peter Hartley. Mohammedan Sporting still pressing hard up front, trying to gain possession. Quick throw in taken, lofted delivery. The flag goes up. Offside for Asif. And look at Carlos Santamarina. I think the staff should remind him that he's already seen a card.
Kind of furious there. Just in the nick of time. I don't really think there was any infringement happening. That's the second offside of the match. Mohammedan Sporting had one early, and now into Kashi as well, getting involved in one. Mohammad Arshad pulled off a crucial save, crucial block rather, that denied into Kashi from point blank range. And as this game progresses further, we will possibly be looking tempers flaring a lot more. The heat turning up. It's already pretty hot, to be honest, out in these parts of the country.
That's right. That's why the drinks break in every half to cool down. Flicked header. Peter Hartley. Like a bulldozer coming in, and I think he has enjoyed himself. Alexis with the run. Alexis to Bikash. Bikash, the angle is tough. He will set it up, but a deflection. No, not a deflection. It's a goal kick. Bikash could have done better. He has that potential.
I think he was too persistent to the fact that he can create the cross from there. Looked like a deflection, Varun, didn't it? Well, I was also of the same impression that you had. But then once again, eventually it's going to be the calls of the referee that matters. And Arindam Bhattacharya, After conceding that first goal, he has been pretty solid under the sticks as well. Mohammedan Sporting trying to use those wings to their advantage. Kasimov, bit of tumble on the ground, but he's all right. He's back on his feet there.
Mario Barco out there. The aerial duel with Kasimov. And I think it's a foul. And Jordan Lamela wants the restart to be taking place where it all happened. Kashi have to keep things under control because it's a doable task for them. Just a goal that they have to equalize, but they can't lose tempers. Clearance goes back to the visitors. Sandeep. Arindam, miss pass. Eddie Hernandez, 1-1. Eddie Hernandez! How can he miss that? Arindam has a lucky escape. It could have been 2-0. Could have been a gift from Arindam. But a good recovery with that save.
I think the luckiest man on the face of the planet now has to be Arindam Bhattacharya. Almost a criminal error from him. Bangs the shot there. And I think all he needed to do was just power it into the back of the net. There was no need for placement. He had the entire goal gaping, but nonetheless a corner. Alexis with it. Can Mohammedan Sporting redeem themselves from this one? There comes the corner, but it's rattled the top post and goes out of play. Well, looks like it's going to be another corner, is it? Yes. Yes, it is going to be. The corner will be retaken possibly.
So another chance for Mohammedan Sporting. The second corner in the game is set up. Far off from Joseph to Arindam. Not a good day at office for Arindam.
And yet somehow he has survived that last assault. Eddie Hernandez could have got that insurance goal, could have driven Mohammedan Sporting forward. The crowd wasn't particularly happy. You saw a few gestures out there in the concourse there. A throw in place of Mohammedan Sporting. Kasimov stepping up slowly and steadily. And the ball slips out of his hand.
Kasimov getting some verbal caution from the referee out there. Fourth quarter of the game coming to an end. Arindam conceding the first one. He had the time, I think, to stop that shot, but he just was a spectator out there. Could have conceded the second one because of his own mistake. But he could save, and that's the reason. It's just one goal for Mohammedan Sporting, none for Kashi. And after those changes being made, Peter Hartley in the defense, a little busy, but no impact as of now from Gyama Nikum. But Peniston Barreto had the chance, but he missed out.
I wish all those missed chances, if they would have been converted, it would have been a goal fest already. And now Kasimov stepping in from the side, from the central channel, across coming in from the right. But I reckon the flag's gone up on that occasion, which means another sigh of reprieve at the moment for Kashi. Arindam Bhattacharya will have to be careful. That looked like, I think there was a bit of push involved. Yes, there was a bit of push involved, and that's the 12th foul of the game. Another push there on Mario Barco Villar from Mohammad Irshad. I think once again, you know, in the simplest of terms, had it been cricket, we would have said sledging. But since this is football, getting under the skin of your opposition, leaving them irked to the very gills. It's going to be another substitution happening here. It looks like Deepak Devrani is being taken off and Tejas is being introduced. Tejas Krishna has been introduced into the mix. Now that is a like-for-like change. Let's see, what does that change bring in? In fact, there's another substitution as well. Tomba Singh has been introduced into the mix. So that is going to be these two substitutions. Let's see if that has enough juice in them. Into Kashi. From the left onto the central channel now. And straight away the man who comes out gets hold of the ball. Launches one forward. Slightly haywire there between the two players altogether.
Just a couple of more substitutions for Carlos Santamarina. It's changing the whole, maybe most of the defense line, changing most of that midfield area. Still depending on his striking force to come back in the game. And hope to see more of impact with these couple of substitutions. And Mohammedan Sporting with just one. And we have already seen that impact. So more of aggression from Andriy Chernyshov, keeping the same defense line and depending on Ishad, Padam Chetri, Joseph, Chasim Hadinga, their company for a clean sheet today. But into Kashi, like you already said, in this season so far, with this goal, 41 goals they've conceded.
I think it has been one mantra that they believe in, and that is attack is the best defense. But truth be told, Varun, when you are playing football for 90 minutes, I think there are a lot of strategic maneuvers, a lot of machinations that come into the play, where attack is the best defense, a very fancy thing to say, but living up to that until the very end, that is a tricky one to live up to.
Yes, that's always there. Many coaches believe that we play with the false number 9, but how you do it, how you execute it is very important. So same goes for attack being the best defense. You have to execute the same to get results. Chasim from the right, winning another throw-in. And kind of frustrating into Kashi out there. Andriy Chernyshov wants something else to happen on the field. Kasimov, great pass from onside. Run made from Alexis. Ball is still in play. Into Kashi, struggling to keep possession. Long deliveries and the possession being gifted to Mohammedan.
I think after that rambunctious start there, despite the fact that they lost track in the midway of that first half, we were expecting that Kashi would possibly be coming out all guns, all blasters, all bazookas blazing. But somehow or the other, it is still Mohammedan Sporting. A push from behind there on that occasion, another clumsy challenge on Vikas Singh. And that's a second foul coming in from Sumit Pasi. Sumit Pasi, another experienced name to be honest, and I think you would expect better from someone of his caliber. It's understandable that Mohammedan Sporting is not one of the easiest oppositions on the field, but I think the true character, the true spirit of a team comes forth when you are thrown at the deep end. And now coming in all the way from right to Benestin Barreto. There comes the cross at the far post. However, because Singh doesn't get the final touch, it's going to be a corner. It's a good duel between Sumit Pasi and Vikas Singh, isn't it, Varun?
That's right, in the wings, an individual battle is on, and I think this round goes to Sumit Pasi. Good job with the clearance out there. Flying header clearance, or else it was Vikas who was waiting for the delivery. But a corner, the third one in the game for Mohammedan Sporting. Eddie Hernandez will be the target for the man taking the corner. And a chance for Mohammedan Sporting to make it 2-0 and try to test Arindam, who has not been great with his form in this game.
Here comes the corner. Pretty flatter one, to be honest. Allows Kashi to try and essay a break from that one. However, all they could manage is to find the feet of Alexis there. Jordan Lamela plays it all the way back to Tejas Krishna. Tejas Krishna to Peter Hartley. Peter Hartley on to the far left. Tries to keep the ball in control. Does well to keep the possession at their feet. Eddie Hernandez once again on the prowl. Miss pass. Intercepted by Jasim. Kasimov. Now bombing forward through that central channel. There is space, there is help. One for Vikas Singh. Here comes the cross. But Peter Hartley standing tall in the heart of the defense. I think Alexis was possibly hoping. Oh, what a shot that would have been. Rattles the woodwork out of nowhere. Like a lightning bolt from the heavens. Alexis showing why he is a master of those.
Vikas with the earlier setup. Peter Hartley with the clearance. And then Kasimov trying to win a penalty. Referee says, get up. Alexis with the strike. Oh. Arindam had it covered though, but Alexis could have made it 2-0. Could have had his brace, but then bad luck for him. The fans are getting concerned right now. They're looking for the second one. Better reasons to celebrate. They're getting the chances, but not getting the back of the net. But Mohammedan Sporting have been brilliant in the second half because I just noticed in Kashi have not spent a lot of time in Mohammedan Sporting's half. Most of the action taking place in Kashi's half, and that's the reason the fans are all excited. They travelled from the city of Joy, Kolkata to Noihati Bongimanjali Stadium, and they have good reasons to celebrate, as Kashi, team in the 4th spot, are struggling today against the table toppers.
Somehow the visitors have completely switched off in the second half, and a team that is blessed with the likes of such big names. Once again, a glance at the goal there. This is how Eddie Hernandez set up Alexis, and look at the placement there. Absolutely glorious. Picture perfect should be the right word there. And look at how he says already, he sends out a message to the fans, "V for victory, I'm coming." And I think the reception, the celebrations are already in the stands. 26 more minutes of regulation time, and then whatever will be added on. Can Mohammedan Sporting hold on the lead to possibly push Srinidhi Deccan to the very edge of the title challenge?
Same question, if you ask these fans, they'll say yes, obviously. And they're just waiting for that final whistle. But then Kashi, team just can't rule out, because the team has the potential. It's just that they're not firing enough. Kyamanikum, Tomba, Mario Bako, Jordan Lamela, Lalrindika, Tejas, Asif, those brilliant runs. They all have that potential to get the equalizer. They're trying their best, but this home crowd is rooting for a team who are at the top and looking good in the game. Another chance for them from a corner.
Another opportunity, Peter Hartley possibly just trying to say something. And this is going to be Angusana with that left foot of his. A venomous and swinger maybe. Floated into the mix. And that's a long header from Joseph Arier, but that was certainly way off the mark. Could have been better if the ball would have been somewhat closer, but it wasn't the best of deliveries either. It was going far away from him. Again, Joseph did what he could have done best from that, but that should be all from that attack.
Joseph, Eddie Hernandez are the ones who are kind of the tallest in the team, and that's where they are the targets from a corner or a set piece for Mohammedan Sporting. And all of the corners mostly have been in the far post, but no goals from set pieces as of now in the game. Alexis cleared away by Sandeep. Counter for Kashi. Has not faded out yet. Edmund Lalrindika. Edmund looking for options inside the area. Edmund coming out of it, setting it up. Mario Bako. There's a good chance. He sets it up with a powerful touch. And there's a clearance header from Joseph. Kashi still have a chance. A shot taken. Joseph deflects it for a corner. Kashi had a good chance when Mario Bako had the ball.
I reckon one of the stark differences between the two sides have been that Mohammedan Sporting has not hesitated in pulling the triggers. But somehow Kashi, they are just trying to be overtly sure. Somehow they lack that, I won't say lack that confidence, but somehow they are questioning that shooting range of theirs. That's the second corner for Kashi. Floated into the mix, but oh, it's gone into the back of the net. There was a push on Padam Chetri, however. Has the goal been given? Well, no, the goal hasn't been given. That clearly was a push on Padam Chetri. Once again, kind of a free header, is it? Yeah, that was almost through the grip of Padam Chetri. So, of course...
I think Tejas used his hand maybe. Thought the referee will miss out on the view out there. But a clear touch and a clear tackle on Padam Chetri, and I think it's a well-taken corner for Kashi. It's just that Tejas, had he been a little more closer to the ball before it reached Padam Chetri, could have been 1-1.
Fancying the hand of God once again. Back to Padam Chetri.
But I'm sure the fans were tensed, you know. That's what happens if you're just leading with a goal, and Carlos Santa Marina was all excited. He thought he's back in the game. Offside, says the assistant referee.
Yes, very rightly said, Varun. We have, in fact, as football fans ourselves, when our favourite team plays and they are playing with that one goal cushion every single time the opposition has the possession at their feet, we have our hearts in our mouth. Even if it's 5 seconds remaining on the clock, we feel that it's almost 5 minutes that the oppositions can just come knocking on the doors and you never know what's next.
That's right, and that's where you see Andrew Chernishoff all animated in the sidelines. He wants to be sure to collect all the points today, and for that, the opportunities have to be converted. Shulin, number 10 versus number 10. Not a good clearance. A chance for Angusana to win back possession. Keeps on with the pressure on Tejas, and it's a throw-in for Mohammedan Sporting.
Good position to have a throw-in from. Possibly one of those long throws can also be witnessed here. We won't be surprised if that happens. And Angusana, he's done a brilliant job. The kind of work rate that he's dished out, it's simply impeccable. And it looks like it is going to be Zoring Liana, the skipper, with that throw-in. A short one, a crisp one. Just trying to keep things under control. Taken quickly, but that has been intercepted. And now Kashi has an opportunity to try and hit Mohammedan Sporting on the break. Look at that duel between Mario Barco Villar and Joseph Adier. Here comes Kashi knocking on the doors through the central channel, trying to use it as if it's a blazing fire trail altogether, but then that long pass to Del Pino. Slightly acute, I would say. He has the space, waiting for support. Support arrives a bit too late.
Irshad with the header. Kasimov. The chances taken. Strong, long clearance, and time for another substitution. One Neller ready in the sidelines. Alexis, the goal scorer, is coming off. 71 minutes up at the Noihati Bongimanjali Stadium. Alexis comes off, and it's Nella coming on his place.
He's done his job. He's found the back of the net and almost found the second one as well, had it not been for the woodwork. Look at how he's received by his management there. Once again, a closer look at that goal. Brilliant tee off and a sensational finish right into the bottom right corner, beyond the sight of a rooted Arindam Bhattacharya. Kashi now knocking on the doors from the right. Sumit Pasi goes forward with the cross, but headed away to safety. Danger's not over, however. Well, looks like the referee has blown the whistle. He's halted play. It is Jassim who's gone down on the ground.
Aerial duel. Jassim had it covered, but then I think it was Jordan Lumela trying his best to win the ball. Clear foul. And a restart in favor of Mohammedan Sporting, who are celebrating right now. And the reason is this man, Alexis, whose strike is the reason that Mohammedan Sporting are leading as we head on to the last quarter of the game. Good move from the captain. Nella. Joseph. Good passing so far. Peter Hartley wins possession. Kashi looking for the equalizer. Tomba to Sumit Pasi. Finds the opening, has the space, quick touches, great back heel. Mario Barco was looking for Tomba, but it goes to Padam Chetri.
A great move until that final back heel there. And I think that back heel was very well executed. It's just that he didn't have a player going for the run there. Only if someone would have been hot on the heels of that delivery, we would have seen a different result, a different outcome of that move altogether. Nonetheless, it's a throw-in at the moment for Kashi. Kashi, somehow, it's going to be a water break, however, before we head into the final quarter of the game. The fans will possibly have to wait a bit more, with the hearts in their mouth, of course, before they can call it a day of celebrations.
That's right. People want great end results. And Mohammedan Sporting will want a convincing victory. It's just 1-0. Inter Kashi somehow managing minimal chances and trying to be clinical. Bikash with his setup. Pareto off the target. Then Lalrindiga with the setup. This header from Asif off the target. And Angusana, brilliant. Goes inside the area, a grounder pass, and then Eddie Hernandez off the target. And this was his best chance in the game so far. From Orindom Serra, he could make it 2-0, but then he missed out. And after that, Kasimov trying to win a penalty. Alexis with the strike, hit the woodwork. And that's the reason Andriy Chernyshov is concerned about the scoreline still sticking to 1-0. And in moments like these, if out of the blue, Inter Kashi scores, just a point will not be enough for the fans to celebrate. They want full points because the team has played like that. They just have to be more clinical. Alexis is not in the playing 11 anymore, but Eddie Hernandez is there. Inter Kashi, Tomba! Hits the woodwork. Could have just placed it, but to find the back of the net, he just wanted to tear it all apart and misses out on the target, Rohit.
What a moment of madness would that have been. Absolutely a cracker of a shot there. Misses the mark by inches once again. And what a game we are witnessing. Simply sensational. Two teams not just willing to go down without a fight. Two teams willing to pour out, willing to bear their hearts and soul out. Willing to squeeze out every last drop of blood and sweat out in the center. Angusana has been taken off, and it looks like it's going to be Samuel in the mix. But what a strike. Padam Chetri was beaten. He was off the line. And now Inter Kashi possibly trying to latch on to another chance this time, but has been denied. A slightly miscalculated delivery.
Tomba could have been the super sub had he scored. Should have just placed it. Carlos Santamarina still agitated about decisions of the referee. And his staff trying to cool him down. They don't want him going off the field of play and away from the technical area.
Ratnadeep Roy just trying to, the team manager for Inter Kashi, just having a chat there with Carlos Santamarina. And as yes, you very rightly said, Varun, he's already on a yellow card. One more and he's off. So that means the final few minutes where he is needed the most. It's going to be a lot more challenging for Inter Kashi. But now, so far things are hunky-dory. And Carlos Santamarina is back on his seat, keeping a keen eye on proceedings. Gyama Nikom on the ball. Joseph Ariay, a massive leap there. Gyama does well to keep the ball. That's a lovely delivery! And somehow Padam Chetri manages to deny Inter Kashi. What a brilliant phase of play are we witnessing here.
Well, the first set of substitutions, we didn't see impact. But the second set, we've already seen the impact. Tomba, Gyama Nikum. This combination is proving to be lethal, and Tomba had kept it on target. But then Padam Chetri coming to the rescue. The coach, a little animated, has to cool down, having a discussion with the fourth official. I wonder about what. The corner has been given, right? But I think the time being wasted, that's what he's claiming.
Well, as the rules and regulations go, if your goalkeeper is down, you have to treat him on the field itself. So that means there are no other avenues altogether for Inter Kashi.
And I think this is also part of the game. You take the advantage, your goalkeeper is injured or maybe injured, and he spends some time, and the fans are concerned now. The celebration, the decibels have gone down a bit because they're concerned. Just a goal, Inter Kashi looking brilliant. In phases, they might equalize. So Mohammedan Sporting have to be careful. The super subs, the fresh legs are proving to be lethal, especially Tomba.
And then to Kashi, I think they have made a habit, it's not just today. When they started their I-League campaign, they were down 2-1 until the 93rd or possibly the 94th minute, where a shot out of nowhere just found the back of the net. So they are a team that has got the reputation who can pull off these things. Good to see that Padam Chetri is back on his feet. Injury is not so grave enough. Corner. Another opportunity for Kashi to try and restore parity. Here comes the corner, floated out to the far post. Danger's not over. It stays alive and somehow he's miscalculated, miscued the ball control there. Another launch into the box. Padam Chetri comes out and it's a goal line save. Naihati Bankimanjali Stadium is on tenterhooks here. And we are witnessing possibly one of the finest encounters of I-League 2023-24.
Well, next time, Carlos Santamarina should not complain to the referees. He has to complain about Mario Barco. Long ball, a perfect setup. Padam Chetri's mistake. Mario Barco kept it on target, but then a powerless strike. And that's the reason the captain to the rescue. A goal line save. So many chances for an equalizer. And all being missed by Kashi.
How many more chances will they need? If somebody is to be held culpable for this very sight right now in front of our eyes, it has to be the visitors themselves. The woodwork and then missing away from point blank range on one-on-one situations. And this time, a miscued effort. Padam Chetri.
The captain, Adinga, is the reason it's not 1-1. 80 minutes up. And after long, Arindam seems to be a little busy.
I would rather say that was a stroll in the office for Arindam. It wasn't exactly business. Peter Hartley on the ball. Peter Hartley sends it forward. No Kashi players, however, but looks like it took a deflection along the way. So throw in favor of the visitors. In fact, throw in favor of Mohammedan Sporting. Jassim with the throw there. All the way back to Peter Hartley. Taking their time. Peter Hartley sends it into that central channel here. Tomba Singh. Tomba plays it further on the left. Back to Hartley once again.
Well, if it's just a point or no points for Mohammedan Sporting, then it's going to be Adrian Hernandez who will repent. Or if it's the other way around, it's going to be Mario Barco who will be repenting. Lalrin Dika keeps possession, touch to the left. From the left, Jordan Lamela with a setup. Mario Barco! This time he does it! And he does it in style. That's the equalizer! And it's silence at the Naihati Bankimanjali Stadium. Carlos Santamarina, Kashi are back in the game. 82 plus minutes and game is on. Scorelines 1-1 and this is what the fans were dreading.
Redemption for the Spaniard. They kept on knocking on the doors, kept on knocking louder and louder. The knocks started turning into bangs and eventually the door was forced open. Another gilt-edged cross there. And Mario Barco Villa, point blank range. He was not going to miss out on that one. But you've got to give the credits to Jordan Lamela as well. Picture perfect cross. Almost destined to be on the noggin of Mario Barco Villa. And there you go. He slams it into the heart of destiny. Srinidhi Dekin is hoping again.
Well said, Rohit. And a wonderful header from Mario Barco. I'm sure when the critics were wondering about Mario Barco's performance in this game, and at all important time he strikes is so hard, the expression says it all. It's 1-1, and now it's anybody's game. Kasimov with a clear foul. I think Carlos Santamarina is asking for a card. Play goes on. Mohammedan Sporting coming in attack after long. Fades out into Kashi. Miss pass.
Back with Mohammedan Sporting. Nellar on the ball. Juan Nellar plays it all the way back to James Singh. James to Joseph. Joseph to Irshad. And a substitution has happened. James has been introduced and Bikash has gone out. Just a few moments ago, James got his first touch there. And Irshad and Mario Barco Villar, he's everywhere. The fact that he missed out on few sitters up front and then that equalizer, that would feel like a galaxy of relief for him. That was the second foul, and now Kasimov sending it forward onto the far right. And look at that clearance, a thumping one there at the expense of a throw-in for sure.
Medical attention being asked for. I think the assistant referee is signaling for a stretcher. Scores level. And I think it's Sandeep who's down.
Looks like yes. And this game, to be honest, I think you would agree with me on this, it's far from over. Just because Kashi has found that equalizer doesn't mean that they can silence Mohammedan Sporting out. And most importantly, Mohammedan Sporting has scored quite a few late goals in this tournament. So they will be rooting for that as well. And just countering that fact, Kashi have been very active from the 80th to the 95th minute. The fans, I think they have a slightly gloomy expression on the face. You've got a feel for them as well. Their team was playing brilliantly, but they have also missed out on chances. It's not that they haven't.
That's right. Confirmation of substitution. Sandeep going out. The coach taking no chances in that defense line. And here comes Pereira. Sanson Pereira.
In fact, it was Sandeep Mandi who's gone out because he would no longer be participating in the game. Samsung Pereira will have quite a task at his hand because it's not easy to keep Mohammedan Sporting completely out of play. However, Kashi has reclaimed possession, and Kashi coming, knocking on the doors once again. That's a pass onto the far right. And Sumit Pasi bombing forward from the right. Yama Nikom on the ball. Here comes the cross, but that has been denied. And now Mohammedan Sporting on the break.
Another go at it. Gyamanikum again from the right. Wanella somehow stopping it. And then Nadinga taking no chances. Eddie Hernandez has no options up front and loses out on the possession again in the game. Kashi do the same. Mohammedan Sporting, this time from the right. Barreto. Benestin Barreto. Kasimov. The referee is going to have a restart, and a yellow card comes out for Del Pino.
55% ball possession for Mohammedan Sporting, 45 for Kashi. Benestin Barreto, I think that was cleanly done, and the challenge was very cumbersome from Del Pino. A deserved yellow card there. And now launches one forward, intercepted. Danger's not over, however. Juan Nella on the ball. Nella plays it back to James Singh. James Singh tries to control that. And once again, animations aplenty from Carlos Santamarina.
Well, if the scoreline remains like this at the end of the game, Mohammedan Sporting will be at the top with 49 points, but three teams with 40 in the second, third and fourth spots. Srinidhi Deccan, Real Kashmiri and Kashi. The best part, Srinidhi Deccan, just 20 games, 2 less than Mohammedan Sporting. A chance for Mohammedan Sporting to strengthen the top spot from the right. Benestin Barreto inside the area. Barreto trying to struggle and do a setup. He does it for Kasimov. But maybe it's too late because Kashi are there in numbers to defend the Black Panthers.
Now the ball sent forward. A push from behind. I think Benestin Barreto, he should have set it off for the two players who were already out in the center, in the heart of the penalty box. Yeah, that clearly was a push from Joan Nellar. Makes no sense, to be honest. I think that is just signs of frustrations there. He could have done better. 2 minutes of regulation time remaining, and I think this is going to be an elongated half of football, and elongated additional minutes that we are going to witness. Now, we are talking a lot about Mohammedan Sporting. Into Kashi, you never know when they'll sneak their way in once again. And Arindam Bhattacharya, I think the man who would have the biggest sigh of reprieve, it has to be him.
That's true. He could have conceded the second one because of his own mistake, but then somehow he recovered, and then that equalizer is the reason they still have hope to collect all those points. And when the second half started off, Mohammedan Sporting, well, looking a little more lethal. They were dominating, but then after that first quarter of the second half, Carlos Santamarina's team bounced back and they got the deserving equalizer. Created a lot of more chances after those fresh legs came in and joined the playing 11. And that's the reason Mario Bacco, after trying a lot, finally, that beautiful header is the reason the scoreline's 1-1 out here.
Just to give you a heads up, the remaining matches for Mohammedan Sporting will be against Shillong Lajong, and that is in Shillong Lajong's home turf. And they will be hosting Delhi FC at home. On the contrary, for Srinidhi Deccan, they will be hosting Rajasthan FC at home. And then there are, in fact, it's going to be 7 minutes of additional time that will see these two teams going at each other's jugulars with claws and fangs bared. There's another cross, but that has been repelled away. And yes, talking about the remaining matches of the Deccan Warriors, Rajasthan FC will be travelling all the way to play them in their home. Naroka FC will be hosting them, and Kashi will be hosting them. And Shillong Lajong will be travelling to meet Srinidhi Deccan in their very backyard. So yes, a lot of calculations, a lot of permutations and combinations still remaining. A lot can happen. And what an electric season has this been. Here comes into Kashi from the left. There's another cross, possible chance. But Adinga stands tall, chesting it out at the expense of a corner.
Great move from the left from Lalrin Dika. Perfect setup, and the captain had to concede the corner. The home team is under pressure. The fans are wondering, will it just be a point or no points maybe? 7 minutes of added time. The chance from a corner for a team who are looking lethal in the last 2 quarters of the game. Enter Kashi, trying to make it 2-1, and they've got a good chance from this corner now. Padam Chetri and his defense line will be tested.
Here's a chance. Launches one into the box almost. My word, what a fixture has this been. Oscillating from one end to the other. Into Kashi comes knocking on the doors once again. This time though, the header wasn't as good as it would have been, but guess what? There's another corner knocking on the doors.
2 minutes of added time, 2 corners and 2 chances being created by Inter Kashi. A perfect left footer. Flick Terra was going for the target. Padam Chetri Irshad had it covered. And then from the second ball, they created a chance from which they got a corner. And here's Jordan Lamela getting ready for another perfect setup.
Opportunity. Launches one towards the far post. Peter Hartley with a powerful header for sure, but then certainly not anywhere on the radar. Goes out for a goal kick. Mohammedan Sporting will possibly try and take a few more seconds, is it? No, they started off quite quickly. Wins a throw-in for themselves. Zoring Liana, the skipper, he's had a very busy game. And do not forget, he was involved in one of those goal line saves, or else Mohammedan Sporting would have been trailing at this point in time.
That's right. A good reminder. Could have been 2-1 in favor of Inter Kashi. Actually, a lot of missed chances in this game. And that's why scores level. Samuel beats Tomba. Couldn't beat Sumit Pasi. Tussle for the ball. Kiaba Nikum wins it. Then is Del Pino. Peter Hartley. Halfway into the added time. Peter Hartley comes up to the opponent's half.
Mohammedan now on the chase. Peter Hartley on the ball. Peter Hartley sending it forward. Looks like the referee's blown the whistle, and now Mohammedan Sporting on the break. Do they find a late goal? Plays it on to the far right, stretching the Inter-Kashi defence. Peter Hartley had it all covered. A deflection along the way and very comfortably taken care of.
Now it's Lalrin Dika with the counter for Inter-Kashi. Irshad chasing him. Tired Irshad. Fresh legs. Lalrin Dika, it seems to be. Both have been playing from the first minute. Tomba takes the shot. Deflection. A chance to finish it off. Lalrin Dika could have scored the second one for Inter-Kashi, but he misses out on the chance and has enjoyed himself.
And Rishanishov has gone ballistic there, and I reckon while he was trying to reach out for the ball, oh, his ankle twisted. That can be agonizing. That can be very agonizing. But Andrei Chernyshov, he is not happy at the moment at all. He knows that this was a game for Mohammedan Sporting to take it all the way home, and somehow they are dropping points. If things remain like this, if they fail to find the back of the net in the dying embers, it will be a gift on the silver platter.
Tensed fans, because that could have been 2-1. Twisted his ankle, but it seems that he's fine. And that's more bad news for these fans. Less than 2 minutes in the added time. Andrei Chernyshov was wondering, could have been full points for the team, but right now he's wondering, will it be a point or will they concede another? Inter-Kashi got better with time.
Aging like fine wine. And they've actually done a good job. I would rather say, I mean, just adding on to that, I think they started off on a very brilliant note as well. It's just that they couldn't find the back of the net. They came very close and they should have converted those chances. And similarly for Mohammedan Sporting, they started the second half on a very swashbuckling, on a rip-roaring note, to be honest. And from there, they started losing foothold of the game, allowed Inter-Kashi to rally themselves back and eventually restore parity. Inter-Kashi knocking on the doors once again. Tomba Singh onto the far right. Gyama Nikumb toying around with the captain of Mohammedan Sporting, but then Zoring Liana, he's not one of the easiest ones to beat.
Sumit Pasi getting ready for a throw-in. Andrei Chernyshov smells trouble. Not a long throw-in, it seems. Tomba sets it up. A shot! A volley! A try from Lalrin Dika. Was the ball out of play?
Looks like, yes, it was out of play before he could control that. But so many twists and turns. Were we expecting that? I think yes.
I think Mohammedan Sporting kind of invited this attacking Inter-Kashi. When they had the chances to seal the game and collect all those points, they missed it out. And they still have another go for it. Kasimov from the left in action after long. Still Kasimov takes the shot, sends it to his fans.
That possibly should be the last roll of the dice. Maybe a few more seconds before Anindam Bhattacharya eventually sends it downtown. He's asking his players to step up. Headed away by Mohammedan Sporting. Inter-Kashi intercepts. And it's going to be a free kick in favor of Inter-Kashi. Tejas Krishna.
Lalrin Dika was injured in the added time, and that's why another minute and many more seconds added to it. Inter-Kashi from the left. Edmund Lalrin Dika inside the area versus Jasim. Lalrin Dika sets it up, a powerful one. And that's why Gyama Nikumb chases it, keeps it in play. On the turn, looking for Tomba, cleared away by Mohammedan Sporting. And with that, that's the final whistle from the referee. 1-1 is the final scoreline. One goal in the first quarter, another in the last one. And Rishanisha won, Carlos Santamarina won.
Just a reminder that we are not yet done with the title contention. Just a reminder that this possibly will be going down the wire despite Mohammedan Sporting having the advantage. But if they go on to drop points like these, then they will have to be worried about. I think two back-to-back draws for Mohammedan Sporting and Deccan Warriors are hoping. In fact, Deccan Warriors also dropped a crucial point in the last game itself. They were 2-0 up. They went on to concede that lead. And Mohammedan Sporting, they were 1-0 up. They had plenty of chances. So did Kashi. But then not all of them materialized. Eventually, it was 1 apiece as the team shared the spoils. The stats for you: 53% ball possession for Mohammedan Sporting, 47 for Kashi, 11 shots from Mohammedan Sporting, 2 of them on target, 12 of them from Kashi, 5 of them on target, 22 fouls in all, 10 of them from Mohammedan Sporting, 12 from Kashi. Couple of yellow cards shown to the Kashi players, 4 corners vis-a-vis to Kashi's 2.
Looking at the shots, 11 of them taken by Mohammedan SC. Eddie Hernandez with 4 shots, not a single strike. Alexis with 2, got a goal from it. Angu, Peniston, Bikash, Najay with 1 apiece. So many shots, not being clinical is the reason that Mohammedan Sporting couldn't collect all those points that were possible at the Naihati Stadium. And 12 shots from Kashi, 4 taken by Tomba. Came on as a substitute, still tried his best. Edmund, Mario Bako, 3 each, and Nasif, and Jordan Lamela, 1 apiece.
And it is inevitable that this game was going to be a physical one. 22 fouls in all, 10 of them from Mohammedan Sporting, Kasimov with 4 of them. And then Alexis, Bikash, Eddie Hernandez, Joseph Adier, and Juan Nelar, 1 foul apiece. Twelve of them from Kashi, Beyond with 2 of them. Looks slightly cumbersome. Mario Barco Villar, the hero for Kashi with 2 of them. Sumit Pasi with a couple of fouls. Edmund Lalandika, Jordan Lamela, and Yulin Nellar with 1 foul each. The points table, everyone that you have been waiting for. Mohammedan Sporting now still at the top, 49 points from 22 games. Shrinidhi Deccan has 2 games in hand. They are at 40. However, Real Kashmir has suddenly leapfrogged them into the second position. But once Shrinidhi Deccan plays the remaining 2 games, then we'll possibly have a more updated structure of the points table.
And if you missed out on the action of the game, here are the highlights for you. The difference in the standings was of 9 points in 3 spots. And Kashi started off on a good note with 2 chances being created from the right, keeping Padam Chetri busy. And then Alexis with the strike kept it on target with a bit of deflection from Sandeep Mandi, and then caught that early strike in the first quarter. And after that, for the equalizer, Kashi created a lot of chances. And these were the brilliant setups from which the shots taken were either off the target or were blocked by the defenders and Padam Chetri. Now there's Beong with the challenge, and he had to see that card. And then shot taken by Jordan Lamela on target, testing Padam Chetri from the right. Asif was brilliant with all those crosses coming in. And Lalrindika was outstanding throughout the game, winning a set piece at the end of the first half, creating some trouble but not a good chance, and a strike for Kashi in the first half.
Mohammedan Sporting started the second half on a roar, had their own shares of chances but couldn't convert them. And then Kashi started hitting them back on the counters. That was another lovely cutback, wonderful setup, and somehow Eddie Hernandez couldn't convert. That was another brilliant chance, a brilliant taken corner, but that goal was denied. And then Mohammad Arshad almost gave away a crucial opportunity. That was Tomba Singh rattling the woodwork. Yamar Nikum with another sensational delivery, but Padam Chetri advancing from his line denied the opposition, and that was the goal line save. It was the captain of Mohammedan Sporting denying staunchly another shy at glory. But then that wasn't the end of it all. They kept on knocking on the doors, and there was the cross coming in all the way from Jordan Lamela as the captain stepped up, out-leaping Joseph Adier and hammering one from point-blank range to restore parity. And then Mohammedan Sporting tried their luck as well, but not without much success. On the contrary, though, Inter Kashi came pretty close in terms of scoring, but that was that. What an incredible game. Eventually, the final result of which the two teams will be sharing spoils. It's 1 goal apiece, and we call it a day at the Naihati Stadium. This will be your commentators Varun and Rohit signing off. Thank you everyone for tuning in.